big, beautiful world. Okay, we've got 2 more shows before Election Day, so we're going to be talking about this stuff a heap more. But I just want to give you a basic checklist for what to look out for on Wednesday afternoon. So let's start with the presidential election. These are the battleground states, from the most Biden-friendly states through to the most Trump-friendly states, according to 538. In 2016, the Democrats took those 2 states, and Trump took the rest. And these are the states that, according to 538, they're projecting that Biden has an 86% chance or greater of winning. So you need a polling error of over 5.5 points for Trump to win any of these states. Now, that is possible, although the polling error was only that large in one state, Wisconsin, in 2016. So if Biden wins just these battleground states, we're talking about flipping these 3 yellow states, that's it, then he is president. But for reasons I'll explain on Friday, none of these 3 key states are likely to be called on Wednesday unless it's a smashing. However, these 3 states are all likely to be called on Wednesday. And if Biden wins any of these 3, then he can afford to lose one of these states and he'll be pretty much home. The same applies to all these states here, except for Iowa, which is so small, it doesn't really count for anything. But these states are all more likely to go to Republicans. So basically, on Wednesday, just focus on these 3 states. If Biden wins one of them, then this is going to be over fast. But if Trump wins all 3 of these states, then we could be waiting for those 3 yellow states. It could take days, maybe even weeks, and it's going to be a slugfest. Now, of course, no president can get anything done without the Senate, so we should look at that as well. The battleground states there are all currently held by Republicans, except for Michigan and Alabama. And the Senate is currently 47 Democrats, 53 Republicans, where the president's party holds the Senate if it's 50-50. Now, I would keep one eye on Michigan because the Republican there, John James, he's capable of an upset against the Democrats' invisible man, Gary Peters. But let's assume that the Democrats do keep Michigan. I mean, there is an 80% chance of that, according to 538. Let's also assume they lose Alabama, which they're currently struggling in. That would then leave the Democrats with 46 seats. They're extremely likely to win Colorado and Arizona, so that would put them then at 48 seats. Now, on Wednesday, Maine is likely to be an early call. That's Susan Collins' seat. If the Democrats beat her, that would take them to 49, but if Susan Collins wins, then the Republicans are very likely to hold the Senate. So that's the first state to look out for. The next one to look out for is North Carolina. That should also be an early call. That's where the Democrat Cal Cunningham was doing very well until he got involved in a super lame sexting scandal. Historically sexy. But he's still amazingly ahead in the polls. And if he wins that seat and the Democrats win Maine, that would get the Democrats to 50 seats and they would win the Senate if Biden wins. But if either of those seats don't come off, then they're going to need one more prospect, and that could be Iowa, which is extremely 50-50 at the moment. Republican Joni Ernst got into huge trouble recently when she tried to fudge the break-even price of soybeans.
I might have missed it, but I don't think you answered my question. What's the break-even price for soybeans in Iowa? You grew up on a farm. You should know this.
I think you had asked about corn, and it depends on.
I asked her corn.
It depends on what the inputs are, but probably about $5.50.
Well, you're a couple dollars off, I think, here, because it's 10:05. So we'll move on to something else. Then.
Oh, they play for keeps in Iowa. Doesn't she look happy? But basically, these 3 are the states to watch on Wednesday for the Senate. These final states here will only be in play if Democrats have a great night. So these are the states that will determine who wins the Senate. Democrats need 2 of those 3 states. And really, they want all 3 if they want a Biden presidency to do anything, because Joe Manchin will be one of those Democrats and he is damn near a Republican. So here is your checklist for Wednesday. Biden wants to win any one of these 3 states for the presidency, whereas Trump needs to win all 3 to stay in the contest. And the Democrats need to win 2 of these 3 states to win the Senate, whereas the Republicans will be feeling pretty good if they can win 2 of them. The stage is set. Big, beautiful world.